to know who you are as a person and to figure out yourself. But the first one that you can use is do your own life map. Figure out what were your highest point in life and what were your lowest in life. By knowing that, apologies for the background, I'm having children around me today. So by knowing that, you'll be able to understand how you can help others. Imagine on your lowest point, how did you feel at that point? If you don't do that check every year, and I'm saying this because sometimes you tend to forget, but you need to do that, like stock taking, like audit yourself. Which were my highest point this year and which were my lowest point this year? And see and think, how did you feel when you were at your lowest point? How did you feel? What help did you need? How many people you could call to help you? Unapata shida, then jua kwamba then you have to be doing service for others who are not able to. Ask for that help for themselves. So that's how you get to serving others. It started serving others by putting yourself in other people's shoes, by doing your own audit every year, monthly, weekly, and reciprocating the service that you received. That's what will make you motivated to do service to others. Uamke tu asubuhi. The second thing is you need to know your values. Yeah? You're here today, it's a Friday, saa 12:30, saa 1 almost kasoro. You can be somewhere else, but you're here. Means you already know your values, but what is your value to education? What is your value to health? What is your value to maternity health? What is your value to barabara mbovu? What is your value to green environment and sustainability? If those things doesn't touch your values, they're not part of your values, rendering your service will be difficult. Kwa mfano, my value is education as a person. And I knew this from doing this audit about myself and knowing who I am. And so I say education to me, yani mtu akisema leo anataka kusoma yatima sijui nini, I'm ready to support that because it's part of my value system. Lakini ukiniambia kitu kwa mfano labda kuna soko linahitaji kujengwa, it's not part of my value. Yani kwamba unataka kuwa tu comfortable kwenda sokoni kitoroli kile, I might get a challenge. It might be a problem to someone else, but I might not understand it. Ukiniambia kuna shida kwa mfano ya environment somewhere, it's part of my value, lakini in a lesser position. Kwa kila kitu, all of our areas of point, kwa mfano maji, Rotaract, another area of Rotaract ni water. Shida ya maji, it's not as my personal value as a person. Ndio changamoto ya maji ni ipo, lakini as a person kama mimi maji ni changamoto yangu, it's not as high kama ukiniambia education. Kwa hiyo when there is an water project in my head, two things, I might get involved or I might not get involved, but there's no push from within. So we all have that. Kwa hiyo ndio maana unaweza ukasema kwamba maybe this project, a certain project in a club inapata hype, another project haipati hype. Kwa mfano you kitangaza tu project ya health, I'm sure Kairukians will be there, half of them. Kwa nini? It's part of their vocation. It's, they're happy to contribute because it's something they value. It's what they work for. So they show up. Lakini ukiwaambia tunaenda kuchimba mashimo matuta ya kilimo cha mchicha wanafunzi waweze kula, That might be natembelea wazee. Yeah, that might be a challenge because it's not part of their values. Kwa hiyo, you need to know who you are, do your audit, who was there when you were lowest. You need to know your value, because when you know your value, you know what you're offering. You know how to offer it, and you'll be motivated to offer it. The third thing is we are humans. We always ask ourselves, what am I getting? And Rotary should be offering you something. Now, if you don't know who you are, and if you don't know your values, you'll be attending things that don't respond to your needs, that give you that satisfaction you're looking for. Kwa hiyo, kwa mfano, let's say leo kulikuwa kuna marathon. You attended the marathon, but it's not part of your value system. You end up running 10 kilometers, came back tired, you're grumpy, you're tired, maybe you kupata maji. It demotivates you. It was not of value to you. You didn't get the satisfaction you want. To the opposite of a person who is a runner, anapenda kukimbia marathon, and obvious kuna service project inahusisha kukimbia. They will run because it's part of their value system, and they're getting the satisfaction that they were looking for. The same as ukisema tunaenda kufanya beach cleanup. If beach cleanup is not part of my value, so it won't give me the satisfaction that I'm looking for. So knowing your values ties down to what you get and how you engage. It links to how you give it. And that's the first thing I want to say. What do you give? Rotaract and Rotary has to be, it's voluntary. Nobody is paying you. So we want your service to be of high quality, even if you're giving it for free. If you've been asked to volunteer, for example, kulikuwa kuna Rotaract run, if you are asked to volunteer to be there at 5, it's a free service. Nobody is going to care unafikaje at 5, but we expect you to be there at 5. Now, if you don't know what your value is, this is a service that doesn't relate to you. So what you give it half. Yani utaitoa tu nusu. You'll be there late. Ukitafuta uonekani, you'll be there, lakini yani ndio utakuwa kona unajificha. Yani in the end, because it doesn't answer to who you are, your service quality as well itakuwa mbovu, which in the end ni sawa tu na hukutoa service. So again, how do you give our best to our clubs? It all comes down to our personality. Sisi ni nani? Not personality is you're a Gemini or you're a Leo, Scorpion. No, a personality kwamba wewe kama mwanadamu hapa duniani, in the end, how do you want to be remembered? Yeah? Sorry, excuse me. Yeah. So in the end, utasema, okay, I know my value, I know who I am, I know what I want to give, but Rotaract is not providing that. Maybe your idea is out of this place. Then that is the fourth thing. The fifth thing, then build it. You see, that's where the action comes. You then build it. You're seeing kwamba Rotaract haikupi kile unachokitaka, then bring that in. Yeah, bring those ideas and work on them, because if they are yours and you're originally spearheading them, utakuwa more motivated. And that's what Rotaract is. The beauty of Rotaract ni kwamba it's a canvas. You can paint it anyhow you like. Our presidents are there to give us leadership, but even if there is no leadership, still service can be done. Yani for someone to go and contribute for wanafunzi wanaojoin primary 1, it doesn't require a specific project president to endorse, just need members to come for it. So if you think, okay, now nimeelewa how to give my vocation, but my vocation mimi ni engineer sijui wa umeme, and so nataka kwenda kutoa elimu EWURA ya maji ya umeme ya tarishi vijijini, and obviously Rotaract has not that project, then doing that. Staying silent or being just a dormant, inactive member, it's a disservice to who you are. It's not a disservice to Rotaract. Rotaract will still be there. Yani Tanzania ikiwa na members, haina members, wakiwa 100, wakiwa 50, wakiwa wawili, Rotaract it will continue being there. But it's a disservice to you not to use your vocation for the good of others. So this comes down to our goals and our projects annually. When you are supporting something, it has to come from a deeper point, because huwezi ukaibuka leo March, ukaibuka leo ukasema March naenda Mtwara kusupport RSYP kama in your year or hata monthly budget haukuwa na hata budget tu ya service. Kama hata volunteering is not part of your project, yani it's not part of your budgeting, your planning, your life plan. Kutoa 300,000 would be crazy, it would be a dream. Kwa hiyo you don't just wake up and say nitadonate 900,000 mwaka huu kwa ajili ya service. No, it has come from a deeper place. Au hata kusema tu nitalipa dues, club dues. It has to come from a deeper place, kwamba onyo anyo ulivokaa mwaka mzima ukajasa, yes, ukasema my high point was when I attended Rotaract event, when I did this service. So how do I continue the next year? Then I need to do this service. Then hata ukiambiwa kubudget, you budget for that. And that's how service, and we are using our vocation. Kutumia our vocation sio tu kusema kwamba ukiwa project manager then you need to support kuandika project proposal. That's one thing, but it has to come from a deeper level, because that's the sustainability of a voluntary work. Kazi tunayofanya kama Rotaract ni voluntary, and so you need to have an intrinsic motivation. You'll be lucky if you have a good president that can motivate you. But outside, in the absence of the good president, how do you motivate yourself? That is your personal value that will keep you in Rotaract. So those are the key points I wanted to bring to you today. How are we going to be using our vocation this year? Kama hujafanya your life map, kama hujafanya your goals, kama hujui your values, RSYP, I shared with them the holistic life map, a template that you can use to do your planning, your life planning, and see. Because without that, tukija kutangazia hapa Mtwara, sijui tunaenda Njombe, yaani like 500,000 utakuwa unaichukulia from a point of 500,000. You won't be taking it from a point of I'm giving it to other people so that they can also save their lives. So I'll wrap up there to say that I hope you do your life map this year, know your values, identify what you get so that you give the best quality of yourselves. And if not, you bring your innovation and creativity to Rotaract to at least save you so that you can save better for others. So thank you, Mr. President. I think the remaining time we can do questions and a bit of discussions.
Thank you, Catherine, for that insightful session. I don't want to be the one taking your taking credit for any of what you said. I think let us leave it to the floor. So guys, you're welcome if you have any questions. I see a hand from Gloria. So Gloria, if you have any question, please just go ahead. Anyone with a question, just please just chip in. And the template she said, I think we will share that sometimes later on for you to go through it and get what we have already gone through. I mean, it's an amazing self-assessment template. I think you should see it. Anyone with a question, please just step up and pause. Well, perhaps everyone has understood what you said. Then, but I have a question, and this is, we as young people sometimes we get confused, or being confused, or we just not confident enough that we think that we have nothing to offer. You're young, perhaps you're a recent graduate, or you're at an entry-level job, so you think that you have nothing to offer within the Rotary community or within the community at large. How do you how does one navigate through that fear that they have nothing to offer to the community? How does one understand that, okay, I have this, and how do you step out of that fear?
Yeah, thank you. Let me take one example that I had this week, which was very interesting. So, for example, once you know who you are and where you're going in life, yeah. Once you know your target. For example, someone shared with me that they want to become a specialist. Apologies for my background noise. Yeah, sorry. So someone shared kwamba they want to engage in public health as a person. This is after doing the assessment, and I realized kwamba their passion, whatever they went through schools or the area of interest, is public health. Now, they are new, hawana kazi, they don't have money, they're still figuring out life. My advice was, ukishajua the area of interest, you will engage to relevant things. Kama area yako kwa mfano is public health, then you will be looking for opportunities that are relevant to public health. Na utakuwa unajua jinsi ya kujiintroduce the same. Sometimes people don't know what we can offer because they don't know us. Yeah. Kwa hiyo, and that's what we encourage kwamba Rotaract, we should visit Rotary clubs. But ukifika kwenye Rotary club, how do you introduce yourself? Your introduction comes from knowing who you are. I'm sure Melinda will say, I'm Hemes, I'm a CPA accountant, and I deal with finance and tax and audit. Because that's how she would want to be engaged forward. So when an opportunity comes, that's the service they want to offer. So you sit there, hi, I'm one sentence. So you want someone to ask, hey, Catherine, what do you do? I'm a consultant, one sentence. Okay. So what do you do in consulting? I consult in education. One sentence. This shows kwamba you don't know you and you don't know how to ask. And that's why I'm saying it's very important to do this exercise of knowing who you are, kwa sababu itakubadilisha wewe how you want to be introduced. You will say, I am Catherine Fidelis. I'm a consultant and a specialist, in my areas of interest are in education, especially girls education and early learning. Kwa hiyo mtu hata ukienda, sio kwamba umeattend fellowship ili upate kitu, lakini ile introduction yako can open other doors. People can know kwamba okay, there's a Rotaract called Catherine and ana experience ya education, maybe ni first bachelor yake. Kwa hiyo in case we have an education opportunity, or you can say it in your introduction. So not knowing what we want to offer is because we don't know where we want to go, and it's perhaps we have not had tools. So if you do this holistic life map, it helps you to plan for 5 years. It's something that can live with you. Kwa hiyo it will tell you where you want to go in a very beautiful way, and hicho ndio utakachokuwa unaenda kukipeleka kwa Rotarians, au hicho ndicho unachokipeleka Rotaract, kwamba jamani, mimi ni a data specialist and I'm a data analyst, because you know how you want to get engaged. I hope that at least give you a bit of how to navigate that dilemma.
Thank you, Catherine. Well understood. Please, guys, don't be shy. We have 3 more minutes for questions, and then with announcements. Please, anyone with a question, just chip in and pose your question to an actual expert.
Maybe I just add one thing. Most people think people are becoming, there's a lot of motivation speakers without telling you, or maybe someone want to hear, kazi iko sehemu fulani, someone ana kazi. Arasimi kwenye wana project, you need to go there. That is a good thing. Ningeweza kuja hapa na nikawaambia, kuji-engage na Rotaract, attend the meetings, participate in CAB projects, developed. That is a little thing compared to you knowing yourself. No one, you cannot avoid that. If you don't do it now, you will do it when you're 35, you will do it when you're 45, you will do it when you're 50. And all this time, utakuwa unasema, Rotaract I'm not benefiting it. It's because even if we ask you, what do you want for Rotaract? You don't know. So in the end, at this beginning of the year, please do your self audit. Audit yourself, knowing kwamba mimi ninakuwa RCYP kwa sababu ninataka connection ya issues za education, so that nipate posti za kuandika LinkedIn, so that my CV grow in my social media, kuonyesha kwamba nina background ya education. Our services to others is also a service to us. And I cannot emphasize, take it from me, guys. I cannot emphasize enough, going through life without knowing who you are. You just be meandering this life. Ukiitwa leo kuna marathon umo, lakini marathon is not your thing. Ukiitwa kesho kuna blood drive umo, but it's not your thing. Ukiitwa sijui kuna health camp umo, but it's not your thing. Why? Because we don't know what is your thing. Rotaract will be delivering what it's supposed to deliver, but you are the one that getting this service because you're not into your own. I cannot emphasize this enough. As a Rotaract, you need to know yourself, kwa sababu itakusaidia kujitambulisha na itasaidia kuambia what they need, what they can offer you, so that you become satisfied member. So please. And I hope the President will share the template And if you have any questions, happy to respond. And you can reach out on my WhatsApp number. But the template is super self-explanatory. You won't even need someone to help you with the questions. It's very self-explanatory. And it can also help you to know kama should you continue to be a member in Rotaract or it should not, because even when you leave utaondoka kwa amani kwamba mimi nimeachana na Rotaract kwa sababu it wasn't serving my values. Yani utakuwa na jibu, sio tunakukuta mtaani tunashindwa kuelewa ulichomokaje tu kwenye membership. So that's my advice, guys. Please do your life map so that you give your best service to the club. Thank you. I think I've spoken too much. Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine. So if you guys don't have any further questions, then perhaps it's time for some announcements. And by the way, for those of you who don't know this, Catherine is a past president for the Rotary Club of Young Professionals in the year she served in the year 28 Rotary 2018 to 2019. Yeah. So yeah, announcements, we have a few. So young professionals will be conducting we have as a blood drive project scheduled for February. Further details will be shared with you on our WhatsApp groups, Rotaract Tanzania group and other respective groups linked to Rotaract. And we have another project scheduled for March, Mtwara project, where we have selected a school in Mtwara called Rahaleo Primary School. It's a school for hearing students with hearing impairment. So we want to provide them with hearing aids and other learning materials, and to support them in other issues that hinder their education and learning. So we have those two projects on the pipeline. If you would like to chip in or be a partner with it within any of those projects, please be free to reach out to me, Hermelinda, or projects chair. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. And I would like to thank you all for tuning in. It was such a short notice, but we have had about 22 people joining the call. This is good. So without further ado, okay. So we're about to end. We're about to end the session, and people are still joining in. So this is good. Do you have a volunteer for the final toast, or should I do it? Your Excellency Musambago, would you please do the final toast?
Memorize the whole thing. Can you display it or something, please?
Okay, let me see if I can. Yeah. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody, for the final toast. Thank you, Catherine, for your wonderful session, and for the presidents, for all the presidents that are in here from all the clubs, from members of all the clubs, Rotary and Rotaract. For the guests, may we rise our glasses for the last toast of the day that I give you in honor of all the clubs in here, and all the presidents, and all other guests and visiting organizations. To the president.
To the
President.
president.
To the president.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you, and have a great evening.
Thank you so much.